Picasso. I can't do anything, not even an art class. Mr. Freeman, a pro at staring out the window himself, thinks he knows what's wrong. Your imagination is paralyzed, he declares. You need to take a trip. Ears perk up all over the classroom and someone turns down the radio. A trip? Is he planning a field trip? You know, you need to visit the mind of the Great One, continues Mr. Freeman. Papers flutter as the class sighs. The radio sings louder again. He pushes my pitiful linoleum block aside and gently sets down an enormous book. Picasso, he whispers like a priest. Picasso, who saw the truth, who painted the truth, molded it, ripped from the earth with two angry hands. He pauses. But I'm getting carried away. I nod. See Picasso, he commands. I can't do everything for you. You must walk alone to find your soul. Blah, blah, yeah. Looking at pictures would be better than watching snow drift. I opened the book. Picasso sure had a thing for naked women. Why not draw them with their clothes on? Who sits around without a shirt on, plucking a mandolin? Why not draw naked guys just to be fair? Naked women is art. Naked guys is a no-no, I bet. Probably because most painters are men. I don't like the first chapters. Besides all the naked women, he painted these blue pictures like he ran out of red and green for a few weeks. He painted circus people and some dancers who look like they are standing in smog. He should have made them cough. The next chapter steals my breath away. It takes me out of the room. It confuses me while one little part of my brain jumps up and down screaming, I get it, Cubism. Seeing beyond what is on the surface. Moving both eyes and a nose to the side of the face. Dicing bodies and tables and guitars as if they were celery sticks. And arranging them so that you have to really see them to see them. Amazing. What did the world look like to him? I wish he had gone to high school at Merriweather. I bet we could have hung out. I searched the whole book and never see one picture of a tree. Maybe Picasso couldn't do trees either. Why did I get stuck with such a lame idea? I sketch a cubist tree with hundreds of skinny rectangles for branches. They look like lockers, boxes, glass shards, lips with triangle brown leaves. I drop the sketch on Mr. Freeman's desk. Now you're getting somewhere, he says. He gives me a thumbs up. Riding shotgun. I'm a good girl. I go to every single class for a week. Feels good to know what teachers are talking about again. My parents get the news flash from the guidance counselor. They aren't sure how to react. Happy because I'm behaving, or angry or still that they have to be happy about such a minor thing as a kid that goes to class every day. The guidance counselor convinces them I need a reward, a chew toy or something. They settle on new clothes. I'm outgrowing everything I own. But shopping with my mother? Just shoot me and put me out of my misery. Anything but a shopping trip with Mom. She hates shopping with me. At the mall, she stalks ahead, chin high, eyelids twitching, because I won't try on practical, stylish clothes she likes. Mother is the rock, I am the ocean. I have to pout and roll my eyes for hours until she finally wears down and crumbles into 1,000 grains of beach sand. It takes a lot of energy. I don't think I have it in me. Apparently, Mom isn't up to the Dragon Wine Mall gig either. When they announce I've earned new clothes, they add that I have to get them at Efforts, so Mom can use her discount. I'm supposed to take the bus after school and meet her at the store. In a way, I'm glad. Get in, buy, get out, like ripping off a Band-Aid. It seems like a good idea until I'm standing at the bus stop in front of the school as a blizzard rips through the county. The wind chill must be 20 below and I don't have a hat or mittens. I try keeping my back to the wind, but my rear end freezes. Facing it is impossible. The snow blows up under my eyelids and fills my ears. That's why I don't hear the car pull up next to me. When the horn blows, I nearly jump out of my skin. It's Mr. Freeman. Need a ride? Mr. Freeman's car shocks me. It's a blue Volvo, a safe Swedish box. I had him figured for an old VW bus guy. It is a clean. I had visions of art supplies, posters, and rotting fruit everywhere. When I get in, classical music plays quietly. Will wonders never cease? He says dropping me off in the city is only a little out of his way. He'd love to meet my mother. My eyes widen in fear. Maybe not, he said. I brush the melting snow from my head and hold my hands in front of the heating vent. He turns the fan up full blast. As I thaw, I count the mileage markers on the side of the road, keeping an eye out for interesting roadkill. We get a lot of dead deer in the suburbs. Sometimes poor people take the venison for their winter's meat, but most of the time the carcasses rot until their skin hangs like ribbons over their bones. We head west to the big city. You did a good job, said the cubist, or with that cubist sketch, he says. I don't know what to say. We pass a dead dog. It doesn't have a collar. I'm seeing a lot of growth in your work. You are learning more than you know. Me, I don't know anything. My trees suck. Mr. Freeman puts on his turn signal, looks in the rearview mirror, pulls in the left lane, and passes a beer truck. Don't be so hard on yourself. Art is about making mistakes and learning from them. He pulls back into the right lane. I watch the beer truck fade into the snowstorm in the side of the mirror. Part of me thinks maybe he is driving a bit too fast, what with all the snow, but the car is heavy and doesn't slip. The snow that had caked on my socks melts into my sneakers. Me, all right, but you said we had to put emotion into our art. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. My fingers fly up to cover my mouth. What am I doing? Mr. Freeman, art without emotion is like chocolate cake without sugar. It makes you gag. He sticks his finger down his throat. The next time you work on your trees, don't think about the trees. Think about love or hate or joy or rage, whatever makes you feel something, makes your palms sweat or your toes curl. Focus on that feeling. When people don't express themselves, they die one piece at a time. You'd be shocked at how many adults are really dead inside, walking through their days with no idea who they are, just waiting for a heart attack or cancer or a Mack truck to come along and finish the job. It's the saddest thing, I know. He pulls off the exit and stops at the light at the bottom of the ramp. Something small and furry and dead is crumpled by the storm sewer. I chew off a scab up my thumb. The effort sign blinks in the middle of the block. Over there, I say. You can drop me off in front. We sit for a moment, the snow hiding the other side of the street, a cello solo thrumming from the speakers. Thanks, I say. Don't mention it, he answers. If you ever need to talk, you know where to find me. I unbuckle the seatbelt and open the door. Melinda, Mr. Freeman says, snow filters into the car and melts on the dashboard. You're a good kid. I think you have a lot to say. I'd love to hear it. I close the door. Hall of Mirrors. I stop by the manager's office and the secretary says my mother's on the phone. Just as well, it'll be easier to find a pair of jeans without her around. I head for the young ladies section of the store. Another reason why they don't make any money. Who wants to be called a young lady? I need a size 10 as much as it kills me to admit that. Everything I own is an 8 or a small. I look at my canoe feet and my wet, obnoxious ankle bones. Aren't girls supposed to stop growing at this age? When I was in 6th grade, my mom bought me all these books about puberty and adolescence so I would appreciate what a beautiful and natural and miraculous transformation I was going through. Crap, that's what it is. She complains all the time about her hair turning gray and her butt sagging and her skin wrinkling, but I'm supposed to be grateful for a face full of zits, hair in embarrassing places, and feet that grow an inch at night? Utter crap. No matter what I try on, I know I'll hate it. Efforts has cornered the market on completely unfashionable clothes that grandmas buy for your birthday. It's a fashion graveyard. Just get a pair that fits, I tell myself. One pair, that's the goal. I look around. No, Mom. I carry 3 pairs of the least offensive jeans into the dressing room. I am the only person trying anything on. The first pair is way too small. I can't even get them over my butt. I don't bother with the second pair. They're even smaller size. And the third is huge. Exactly what I'm looking for. I scurry out to the three-way mirror. With an extra large sweatshirt over the top, you can hardly tell they're Efforts jeans. Still no Mom. I adjust the mirror so I can see reflections of reflections, miles and miles of me and my new jeans. I hook my hair behind my ears. I should have washed it. My face is dirty. I lean into the mirror. Eyes after eyes after eyes stare back at me. Am I in there somewhere? 1,000 eyes blink. No makeup. Dark circles. I pull the flaps of the mirror in closer, folding myself into the looking glass and blocking out the rest of the store. My face becomes a Picasso sketch, my body slicing into dissecting cubes. I saw a movie once where the woman was burned over 80% of her body, and they had to wash all the dead skin off. They wrapped her in bandages, kept her drugged, and waited for skin grafts. They usually sewed her into a new skin. I pushed my ragged mouth against the mirror, 1,000 bleeding, crusted lips pushed back. What does it feel like to walk in a new skin? Was she completely sensitive like a baby, or numb without nerve endings? Just walking in a skin bag. I exhale and my mouth disappears in a fog. I feel like my skin has been burned off. I stumble from the thorn bush to thorn bush, my mother and father who hate each other, Rachel who hates me, a school that gags on me like I'm a hairball, and Heather. I just need to hang on long enough for my new skin to graft. Mr. Freeman thinks I need to find my feelings. How can I not find them? They're chewing me alive like an infestation of thoughts, shame, mistakes. I squeeze my eyes shut. Jeans that fit, that's a good start. I have to stay away from the closet, go to all my classes. I will make myself normal, forget the rest of it. Germination. We finished the plant unit in biology. Miss Keene drops 10-pound hints that the test will focus on seeds. I study. How seeds get planted. This is actually cool. Some plants spit their seeds into the wind. Others make seeds yummy enough for birds to eat so they get pooped out on passing cars. Plants make way more seeds than they need because they know that life is not perfect and that all of the seeds won't make it. Kind of smart if you think about it. People used to do that too. Have 12 or 15 kids because they figured some would die, some would turn out rotten, and a couple would be hardworking, honest farmers. Who knew how to plant seeds? What seeds need to germinate? Seeds are inefficient. If the seed is planted too deep, it doesn't warm up at the right time. Plant it too close to the surface and a crow eats it. Too much rain and the seed molds. Not enough rain and it never gets started. Even if it does manage to sprout, it can be choked by weeds, rooted up by a dog, mashed by a soccer ball, or asphyxiated by car dust. It's amazing anything survives. How plants grow. Quickly. Most plants grow fast and die young. People get 70 years, a bean plant gets 4 months, maybe 5. Once the itty-bitty baby plant peeks out of the ground, it sprouts leaves so it can absorb more sun. Then it sleeps, eats, and sunbathes until it's ready to flower a teenage plant. This is a bad time to be a rose or a zinnia or a marigold because people attack with scissors and cut off what's pretty. But plants are cool. If the rose is picked, the plant grows another one. It needs to bloom to produce more seeds. I am going to ace this test. Baloney exile. My cafeteria strategy has changed since I have no friends in the known universe. First off, I don't go through the line for anything to avoid that vulnerable moment of coming out into the lunchroom and that moment when every head lifts and evaluates friend, enemy, or loser. So I brown bag it. I had to write a note to my mother asking her to buy lunch bags, bologna, and little containers of applesauce. The note made her happy. She came home from the store with all kinds of junk food I could take. Maybe I should start talking to them. Maybe a little bit. But what if I say the wrong thing? Baloney girl, that's me. I try to read while eating alone, but the noise gets between my eyes and the page and I can't see through it. I observe. I pretend I'm a scientist on the outside looking in the way Miss Keene describes her days watching rats get lost in mazes. The Marthas don't look lost. They sit in formation, a new girl in my old seat, a sophomore who just moved here from Oregon. Her clothes have a dangerously high percentage of polyester. She needs to get them taken care of. They nibble carrot sticks and olives, spread pate onto stone ground wheat crackers, and trade bites of goat cheese. Meg and Emily and Heather drink cranberry apricot juice. Too bad I can't buy stock in the juice company. I'm watching a trend in the making. Are they talking about me? They're certainly laughing enough. And I chomp my sandwich and it barfs mustard on my shirt. Maybe they're planning the next project. They could mail snowballs to the weather-deprived children in Texas. They could knit goat hair blankets for shorn sheep. I imagine what Heather might look like in 10 years after 2 kids and 70 pounds. It helps a little. Rachel Rochelle takes a seat at the end of my table with Hannah, the exchange student from Egypt. Rachel Rochelle is now experimenting with Islam. She wears a scarf on her head and some brown and red gauzy harem pants. Her eyes are ringed with black eyeliner, thick as crayon. I think I see her looking at me, but I'm probably wrong. Hannah wears jeans and a Gap t-shirt. They eat hummus and pita and titter in French. There is a sprinkling of losers like me scattered among the happy teenagers. Prunes in the oatmeal of the school. The others have social power to sit with the other losers. I'm the only one sitting alone under the glowing neon sign which reads, "Complete and total loser, not quite sane, stay away, do not feed." I go to the restroom and to turn my shirt around so the mustard stain is hidden under my hair. Snow day. We had 8 inches of snow last night. In any other part of the country, that would mean a snow day, not in Syracuse. We never get snow days. It snows an inch in South Carolina, everything shuts down and they get on the 6 o'clock news. In our district, they plow early and often and put chains on the bus tires. Hairwoman tells us that they canceled school for a whole week back in the 70s because of the energy crisis. It was wicked cold and would have cost too much to heat the school. She looks wistful. Wistful, 1-point vocab word. She blows her nose loudly and pops another smelly green cough drop. The wind blasts a snowdrift against the window. Our teachers need a snow day. They look unusually pale. The men aren't shaving carefully. The women never remove their boots. They suffer from some sort of teacher flu. Their noses drip and their throats gum up and their eyes are rimmed with red. They come to school long enough to infect the staff room, then go home sick when the sub shows up. Hairwoman. Open your books now. Who can tell me what snow symbolized to Hawthorne? Class. Groan. Hawthorne wanted snow to symbolize cold. That's what I think. Cold and silence. Nothing quieter than snow. The sky screams to deliver it. 100 banshees flying on the edge of the blizzard. But once the snow covers the ground, it hushes as still as my heart. Stupid, stupid. I sneak into my closet after school because I can't face the idea of riding home on a bus full of sweaty, smiling teeth sucking up my oxygen. I say hello to my poster of Maya and my cubist tree. My turkey bone sculpture has fallen down again, and I prop it up on the shelf next to the mirror. It slides back down and lies flat. I leave it there and curl up in my chair. The closet is warm and I'm ready for a nap. I've been having trouble sleeping at home. I wake up because the covers are on the floor or because I'm standing at the kitchen door trying to get out. It feels safer in my little hideaway. I doze off. I wake to the sound of girls screaming, "Be aggressive, B-E, aggressive, B-E-A-G-G-R-E-S-S-I-V-E. For a minute there, I think I've tripped into the land of the truly insane, but then the crowd roars. It is a basketball game. Last game of the season. I check my watch, 8:45. I've been asleep for hours. I grab my backpack and fly down the hall. The noise of the gym pulls me in. I stand by the door for the last minute of the game. The crowd chants down the last seconds like it's New Year's Eve and then explode from the stands like angry hornets at the sound of the buzzer. We won. beating the Coatesville Cougars 51-50. The cheerleaders weep. The coaches embrace. I get caught up in the excitement and clap like a little girl. This is my mistake, thinking I belong. I should have bolted for home immediately, but I don't. I hang around. I want to be part of it all. David Petrakis pushes toward the doors in the middle of a group of friends. He sees me looking at him and detaches himself from his pod. David, Melinda, where were you sitting? Did you see that last shot? Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. He dribbles an imaginary ball on the ground and fakes left, right, and then pulls up for a shot. David should stick to human rights abuses. He goes on and on, a loose ball racing downhill. To hear him talk, you'd think they just won the NBA championship. Then he invites me back to his house for a celebratory pizza. David, come on, Mel. You got to come with us. My dad told me to bring anyone I wanted. We can give you a ride home after if you want. It'll be fun. You do remember fun, don't you? Nope, I don't do parties. No thanks. I trot out excuses, homework, strict parents, tuba practice, late-night dentist appointment. Have to feed the warthogs. I don't have a good track record with parties. David doesn't bother to analyze my reluctance. If he were a girl, maybe he would have pleaded or whined more. Guys don't do that. Yes, no, stay, go, suit yourself, see you Monday. I think it's some kind of psychiatric disorder when you have more than one personality in your head. That's what it feels like when I walk home. The two Melindas fight every step of the way. Melinda 1 is pissed that she couldn't go to the party. Melinda 1, get a life. It was just pizza. He wasn't going to try anything. His parents were going to be there. You worry too much. You're never going to let us have any fun anymore, are you? You're going to turn into one of those weird old ladies who has 100 cats and calls the cops when kids cut across her backyard. I can't stand you. Melinda 2 waits for 1 to finish her tantrum. 2 carefully watches the bushes along the sidewalk for a lurking boogeyman or worse. Melinda 2, the world is a dangerous place. You don't know what would have happened. What if he was just saying his parents were going to be there? He could have been lying. You can never tell when people are lying. Assume the worst. Plan for disaster. Now hurry up and get us home. I don't like it out there. It's too dark. If I kick both of them out of my head, who would be left? A night to remember. I can't sleep after the game. Again, I spend a couple of hours tuning AM radio to the weird bounces of night. I listen to Jabber Jabber from Quebec, a farm report from Minnesota, and a country station in Nashville. I crawl out of my window onto the porch roof and wrap myself in all blankets. A fat white seed sleeps in the sky. Slush is frozen over. People say that winter lasts forever, but it's because they obsess over the thermometer. North in the mountains, the maple syrup is trickling. Brave geese punch through the thin ice left on the lake. Underground pale seeds roll over in their sleep, starting to get restless, starting to dream green. The moon looked closer back in August. Rachel got us to the end of the summer party, a cheerleader party with beer and seniors and music. She blackmailed her brother Jimmy to drive us. We were all sleeping over at Rachel's house. Her mother thought Jimmy was taking us roller skating. It was a farm a couple of miles from our development. The kegs were in the barn where the speakers were set up. Most people hung at the edge of the lights. They looked like models. In a blue jeans ad, thin, big lips, big earrings, white smiles. I felt like such a little kid. Rachel found a way to fit in, of course. She knew a lot of people because of Jimmy. I tasted a beer. It was the worse than cough medicine. I gulped it down. Another beer and one more. Then I worried I would throw up. I walked out of the crowd toward the woods. The moon shone on the leaves. I could see the lights like stars strung in the pines.
Christina.
Somebody giggled, hidden behind the dark, quiet boy-girl whispers. I couldn't see them. A step behind me, a senior, and then he was talking to me, flirting with me. This gorgeous cover model guy. His hair was way better than mine, his every inch a tanned muscle. And he had straight white teeth, flirting with me. Where was Rachel? She had to see this. Greek God, where did you come from? You're too beautiful to hide in the dark. Come dance with me. He took my hand and pulled me close to him. I breathed in cologne and beer and something I couldn't identify. I fit in against his body perfectly. My head level with his shoulder. I was a little dizzy. I laid my cheek on his chest. He wrapped one arm around my back. His other hand slid down to my butt. I thought that was a little rude, but my tongue was thick with beer, and I couldn't figure out how to tell him to slow down. The music was sweet. This was what high school was supposed to feel like. Where was Rachel? She had to see this. He tilted my face up to his. He kissed me. Man kiss. Hard, sweet, and deep. Nearly knocked me off my feet, that kiss. And I thought for just a minute that there I had a boyfriend.
Lauren.
Older and stronger and ready to watch out for me. He kissed me again. His teeth ground hard against my lips. It was hard to breathe. A cloud cloaked the moon. Shadows looked like photo negatives. Do you want to? He asked. What did he say? I didn't answer. I didn't know. I didn't speak. We were on the ground. When did that happen? No, I did not like this. I was on the ground and he was on top of me. My lips mumbled something about leaving, about a friend who needs me, about my parents worrying. I can hear myself. I'm mumbling like a deranged drunk. His lips lock on mine and I can't say anything. I twist my head away. He is so heavy. There is a boulder on me. I open my mouth to breathe, to scream, and his hand covers it. In my head, my voice is as clear as a bell. No, I don't want to, but I can't spit it out. I'm trying to remember how we got on the ground and where the moon went, and wham, shirt up, shorts down, and the ground smells wet and dark, and no, and I'm not really here. I'm definitely back at Rachel's, crimping my hair and gluing on fake nails, and he smells like beer and mean, and he hurts me, and he hurts me, and he gets up. And he zips his jeans, and he smiles. The next thing I saw was the telephone. I stood in the middle of a drunken crowd and I called 911 because I needed help. All of those visits from Officer Friendly in second grade paid off. A lady answered the phone. Police, state your emergency. And I saw my face in the window over the kitchen sink and no words came out of my mouth. Who was that girl? I had never seen her before. Tears oozed down my face and over my bruised lips, pooling on the handset. It's okay, said the nice lady on the phone. We have your location. Officers are on their way. Are you hurt? Are you being threatened? Someone grabbed the phone from my hands and listened. A scream. The cops were coming. Blue and cherry lights flashing in the kitchen window. Rachel's face, so angry, and mine. Someone slapped me. I crawled out of the room through a forest of legs. Outside, the moon smiled goodbye and slipped away. I walked home to an empty house without a word. It isn't August. The moon is asleep, and I'm sitting on my porch roof like a frozen gargoyle, wondering if the sun is going to blow off the world today and sleep in. There is blood on the snow. I bit my lip clear through. It needs stitches. Mom will be late again. I hate winter. I've lived in Syracuse my whole life, and I hate winter. It starts too early and ends too late. No one likes it. Why does anyone stay here? My report card. Social life F, lunch D, clothes F, social studies F, biology D+, English D+, Spanish D, algebra F, gym D, art A.